Hey y'all, welcome to a new What's for Dinner. So on Monday, I packed us up a picnic and we went to the park to enjoy it. So let me go into the details on everything that I brought. So first up, I made some chicken salad. I love to use a rotisserie for this. It just saves some time. I buy mine from Walmart and the lemon pepper flavored one is my favorite. So I like to keep my chicken salad recipe super simple. So all that I'm using here is some black pepper, Lorry seasoned salt, dill relish, and some mayo and mustard. I don't measure out anything for this. I just like to do my own thing here and kind of go with the flow. But of course, I will show you guys my process. I wanted to take a second to talk about this adorable picnic basket. Josh got me this a few years back for Mother's Day. It's the Pioneer Woman brand, but since it's been a few years, I'm not even sure if she still makes these. I haven't seen them, but this is my first time using it. As you can see, it still has the little poison packet in it, as I like to call it. But yeah, it's been staring at me in the pantry for a while now, so I was glad to finally put it to use, so let's pack it up. So I have some fresh strawberries and blueberries that I washed and cut, and I have some of this strawberry cream cheese fruit dip to go along with it. Josh loves this stuff, and normally the kids are not the type to want to dip their fruit in anything. They just, eat it plain. But on this day in particular, they went wild over it. I don't know if it's because it came in this cute basket or what, but it was a hit. But here I am just putting all of my cold stuff in the bottom. I also did chill that chicken salad for a couple of hours after I made it, by the way. Now I'm just adding in the drinks. Josh and I took one of these Fruit Punch Body Armor drinks. I bought a 12-pack of these from Amazon, and we've really been liking those. And then the kids requested their little Kool-Aid Jammer packs. I didn't worry about any ice packs or anything because our park is not far away. And then I picked up this little dessert tray from Kroger's. It has these brownie bars, lemon bars, and 7-layer bars. The 7-layer ones were my favorite, and then the brownie ones came in second place. I had to kind of rearrange everything to make it fit, and now I'm just adding in some paper plates, a couple spoons for the fruit dip and chicken salad, and some leftover birthday napkins. And then as for the things that wouldn't fit in the basket, I had these Lay's classic potato chips. And then I picked up some of these mini croissants from Kroger as well. These are the all butter ones, super good. And I just stored these in a leftover Kroger grocery bag. And then last but not least, I threw in a serrated knife to open up those croissants. So here is your sign to pack up a picnic for your family. It honestly was really low effort, but I know that it meant the world to the kids, and it was just something different and fun, and it was super good. Next up, I made this BBQ Chicken Pizza. I'm pretty sure this is the first one I've ever made. I don't recall ever making it before. And I'm just going to be drizzling that with some jalapeno ranch dressing as well as some fresh cilantro. So I had every intention on making a homemade pizza dough, but that did not go as planned. But luckily, I had this Chef Boyardee pizza kit in my pantry, so I just pulled a crust mix from that, and I'll be saving that pizza sauce for another day. But this is really easy. All you do is mix it with warm water. As for the cheeses, I am going to be using this leftover fresh mozzarella that I shredded up, and I'm going to be using some bagged mozzarella, and I'm going to shred up some smoked Gouda. I use about half of that block. And then for the chicken, this is the same chicken that came from that rotisserie that I used for the chicken salad the day before. I purposely saved some for this. You really don't need a lot for a pizza topping. So anyways, now I am just adding some Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce. That is our favorite, but of course use whichever barbecue sauce that your family prefers. I'm just going to combine that in with the chicken and set that to the side. And now it's time to assemble this pizza. So I don't know if you can tell, but this is a big pizza pan. So that Chef Boyardee pizza crust does a good job of filling out the pan. But yeah, as you can see, I am just adding a layer of barbecue sauce to the bottom. I actually ended up running out of the regular Sweet Baby Ray, so I switched to a new bottle, and this is one that I had never bought before. It's one that one of you subscribers recommended to me, and it's the no sugar added Sweet Baby Ray's, and we really liked it. I'm mad at myself for not showing the bottle, but I will definitely do that next time that I use it. But if you are someone who loves barbecue sauce but hates how much sugar is in it, I highly recommend that one. Really good. But anyways, now I am just adding down all of those shredded cheeses. This was my first time ever buying and maybe even eating smoked Gouda. And I honestly didn't care for it when it was by itself, like when it was cold. It just tastes super processed to me. But when it was melted down and everything, it worked out really well with all these flavors. But yeah, I don't know if it's the brand that I bought or if that's how smoked Gouda is supposed to be. Can someone let me know? I don't know. I don't know if I should repurchase it or not. But now, as you can see, I'm just adding down my barbecue chicken, and I'm making sure to take the time to really pick it apart. That way it's not all just clumped up into one section. Nobody wants that. And then I'm just going to add a little bit more mozzarella cheese to the top, of course, to add some extra cheesy goodness. And also, I have learned this will help to keep your chicken from drying out when it's baking in the oven. But yeah, I just cooked this according to the instructions on the back of the Chef Boyardee box. I want to say like 425 for about 18 minutes, something like that. But here is my plate. This turned out so good. Josh and I loved it. It was a really fun way to switch up pizza night. Unfortunately, my kids do not care for it that much, and I was worried about that. So I don't know how often I'll get to make it, but I would recommend it to you guys though. And as you can see, I just served it with some fresh corn on the cob, which I think goes hand in hand with barbecue. On Wednesday, I made this bacon and ham cheesy potato casserole, which is basically a fancy hash brown casserole. I have been craving something like this for a while now, and let me tell y'all, this is so amazing. It's perfect for basically anything, breakfast, lunch, dinner, to take somewhere for a get-together, you name it. Y'all need this recipe, trust me. So let me take you over the ingredients. You'll need 2 pounds of frozen potatoes. I'm using the Southern style hash browns. You'll need some Lawry seasoned salt and pepper, garlic and onion powder, a 16-ounce container of sour cream. The recipe calls for cream of chicken, but I have been dying to use this cream of bacon, and I found that at the dollar store of all places, and it made it even better. I'm using chives instead of green onions. You'll need a couple tablespoons of butter. You'll need to melt that down. Some cooked and chopped bacon. 2 cups of cheese. I like to use sharp cheddar, and I'm going to be dicing up this ham steak. So I'm just going to get all of this combined together in a large mixing bowl. I baked this at 350 degrees for about 45 minutes, and then here I have pulled it out, and I'm just topping it with some more shredded cheese. So I mixed about 1 cup in the casserole, and then I added a cup on top for, 2 cups total. And I just threw that back in my oven for about 10 minutes to melt that cheese, and I flipped my broiler on for a couple of minutes to slightly brown the top. And that was our main course. I just served it with some air fried roasted broccoli, and like I said, it was a huge hit. Highly recommend it. The leftovers were just as good, so that was a plus. On Thursday, I tried out something different. This is coming from the Hidden Valley's website. This is called the Creamy Ranch Beef and Noodles. So let me show you how I did it. So I started by boiling a 12-ounce bag of egg noodles, and I just cooked that according to the package directions on the back. And while those noodles were cooking, I was also browning up a pound of ground beef. You'll want to season that to your liking. I always like to at least add salt, pepper, onion, and garlic powder. And I am going to, of course, cook that until there is no longer any pink. And then once it is fully brown, I would drain off all of the grease and add it back to my pan. The meat, I should say. And then now I'm going to work on my sauce. I'm going to add in 8 ounces of sour cream, a half a cup of milk, and you'll need 2 tablespoons of some ranch seasoning mix. And of course, it doesn't have to be Hidden Valley. It can be any store brand or make your own. So now all that's left to do is to stir all this together and to make sure that all that sour cream is melted down. And then I'm just going to toss in my cooked and drained egg noodles. So I serve this up with some green beans and some cheesy garlic bread, and our final opinions on it, we all liked it. It was good, but it was just a very basic recipe. And if I was to make it again, I would definitely double that sauce mixture because it was a little on the drier side, and we don't really prefer that. To end the week, I made these Philly cheesesteak quesadillas, and oh my goodness, I have no words to describe how good these were. It was really hard to decide between this and the potato casserole, but I have to say this was probably our favorite meal of the week, and it was also the quickest to throw together. So this is the steak that I use. It's just the frozen kind from Great Value. I have mentioned in another video how much we love these. Definitely a staple in our freezer. Highly, highly recommend. I finished off one box that was already open, and I used half of a new box. They come in these like steak shapes, I guess you'd say, and I just cook those according to the directions on the box. I mean, you can't get any easier than that. You just sear it for a couple of minutes on one side, flip it over and sear that side for a couple of minutes, and then you're just going to take your spatula and break it apart and let it finish cooking for a couple more minutes. And as you can see, it just falls apart. It's super easy. I haven't had any problems with this coming out like tough. It's really good quality, better than you think. And I'm just seasoning this up with some Lawry seasoned salt. If you can't tell, that has been my recent spice obsession. I've been using it in everything. And also some of the mozzarella steak by McCormick. And that was the perfect combination to go along with this. It made it so incredibly flavorful. So once I got that cooked to our liking, I just put that in a bowl to the side. And to that same skillet, I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil. And I'm just throwing in a whole green pepper that I washed and sliced up. You could throw any veggies in that you want it to, of course. Or just don't have any veggies at all. It's up to you. It doesn't matter. And I am going to be seasoning mine with some salt and pepper. I had to show off my cute new little salt and pepper shakers that's in the shape of a Coke bottle. I don't know. I thought it was cute. But yeah, I'm just going to saute that for about 5 minutes. As you can see, it's developed a little bit of color and it's nice and tender, but still has a little bit of bite to it, just the way I like it. And now I can assemble the quesadillas. So I love to fry my tortillas up in butter. I think that is the best way. It gives it an amazing flavor. I've added down a burrito sized tortilla, and now I'm just laying down 2 thin slices of provolone cheese, and I like to buy mine non-smoked. I've noticed that's what my kids and Josh prefer. So now I'm just adding down a generous amount of that steak, and yes, I'm just going in there with my hands. It's what felt the best at the moment, and no shame there. Now I'm just adding some of the green peppers down, and lastly just 2 more slices of that provolone cheese. You got to remember that cheese acts as a glue to keep everything together. So I'm just going to fold that over, and I'm just going to crisp that up for a couple of minutes on each side until it is nice and golden brown, just like this. Normally, I'm such a sauce person. I always have to have something to dip my quesadillas into, but this was honestly so good that it didn't need anything. So that is really saying something. And I just served it with some air-fried Arby's curly fries and some Claussen dill pickles. But that is going to wrap up this video. I really hope you liked it and found at least one thing that caught your eye and that maybe you would like to try out. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next one. So if you haven't already, I would love it if you would subscribe to this channel. Remember, it is free to do so.